Let's talk about how we use the local color in the process of drawing a portrait. First, I'm going to use wine charcoal, plan on the composition, right? So I'm going to decide on what's going to be included, what's not going to be included. There's no details. Looking at really simple. And I'm just thinking about this, the shoulder. This will be on the other side of the shoulder. And now I want to think about, should I move their face a little bit more to the left or to the right? Or too big or too small? It's very important. You can do that in this step. Okay, now I'm going to go with this. Maybe a little bit off to the right side. You have to make up your mind. Make it solid. Now, I base on the shape of the location of the whole head, include the bear. And now I'm going to divide it. Now this becomes the head. The head a little bit darker. So I applied the local color to it already. Now thinking about the proportion and the bear over here, I'm going to divide it from the edge of the head to the bottom, with actually the lower part of the chin, and this is the bear, right? This is the location of the bear. And then actually the nose is right in between, halfway, coming down over here. Now, before I'm going to draw the details, now I want to divide the shape into the local color. Let's talk about local color. This is the bear over here, and a little bear over here. And this is the mouth right over there. And this is the bear is a little bit darker color. So make sure that it's darker than the skin color. And the top over here is darker. That's the local color. I'm not looking at too much of the shadow side or the light side yet. And I'm thinking about this is the neck and the shoulder. Now, over here has a very light materials. It's white material here. I'm going to leave that to be the lightest color, right? So now the skin color a little bit darker than this. And on the shoulder, that's the shirt is darker. So I'm going to make this a little bit darker. And what about the outside? For this drawing, I'm going to ignore the outside. So now looking at the head over here, it should be a little bit wider, like this. So now I separate the head is one material. The bear is another material. And the shirt is another materials. And there is a white materials over here. So I'm going to use the eraser to lift up this material here a little bit lighter. In the shadow side, but however, this is supposed to be lighter than the outside. Right? Okay, that's good. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use darker drawing material, which is compressed charcoal. Now I'm going to continue to define those different areas. Like say over here, this very dark. I'm going to separate it. This area, we talk about shapes. Everything is about shapes. I'm talking about the area, the contour of this. Now this is a darker material, making sure it looks a bit darker. And there is some little lighter material in between. There's the different colors of the head, like this. Because the shadow on this side, it actually looks darker too. Now this look a little bit more rounded. But however, we have to make sure that the audience will see this is darker materials. All right? And I come down to the face over here, the bear over here is a little bit are darker than the face. And I know it's going to get lighter when I get up there. Okay. Took you. Okay, now coming over here, and this color, and also showing some shadows area. What's the shadow area? It's right over here, right? Because it looked like three-dimensional. So I'm going to make the shadow area over here, make it a little bit darker. So now this object look a little bit three-dimensional. Is that simple? Right, very simple. Give it a little bit darker, like that. And there's some, I'm going to have the catch the shadow of this, like that. And now coming over here, let's redefine a little bit more of the color of the shirt. And the neck over here. Now you can see the skin color a little bit lighter than the shirt. And now I'm going to apply the cast shadow up there because the lighting coming from this direction, and the head is blocking the light. And that's a little bit darker, including this area. It's just the shadow side. It's the cast shadow on the shirt. And also make sure that the color in here is a little bit darker than the color over here, even though they both in their catch the shadow. So I'm gonna make this a little bit darker, like that. This is a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna use a little the eraser to lift up a little color. But make sure this is in the shadow. It should not lighter than in the light side. Like that. Okay, now this is good. It's very clear the skin color is lighter than this, but the skin color should not the same as this. How can we do that? That's easy. I'm going to make the whole face a little bit darker. All right, the next thing I'm going to do, and then I'm going to go into the details of the face. Let's do it. Let's see that this is the eyebrows, a little bit deeper over here. And then this is the shadow side of that. So making sure you get the relationship of the bigger shape already correct. And take a look at the eye. It's pretty easy to draw that. This side is a little bit light, a little bit soft. And coming to this side, this is a big triangle shape. And take a look at that shape. We talk about shape the whole morning. And then coming down over here, take a look at the nose over here. But when you think about the nose, immediately think about what's the shape. There's some shadow, there's some light. Okay, there's a little triangle for the cast shadow. Right over here. Like that. Now this whole thing now looks like a three-dimensional, right? Something like a pop-up because of the lights and the shadow. Now let's continue coming down over here and looking at the mouth. The mouth right in this location, just be abstract and think about what are the shapes, what's the location of the shape, how big is the shape, okay. And the local color on the lip is look a little bit darker than the skin color. So making sure you get that correctly, right? And the top of this, and also have a little bit light shade, because that is the skin color. Like that. Now we get it. Now look at the lower lip of the mouth. It's a little bit lighter. And this is the the shadow underneath the mouth, like that. Hey. And the corner of the mouth, like that. And I also put a little suggestions. Just put a little darker color, because that is suggesting the local color of the facial hair. Like that. And on this side, the facial hair coming up a little bit to the side, connect to the sideburn. And then take a look at this side. It has turning over as the form, and then I make this side a little bit darker. And also underneath over here, it has a little bit cast shadow. Like that. And a little bit suggestions for their ear connecting to the sideburn. And now I'm coming into take a look at the eye. Okay, the eye sitting is his eye pretty deep, sitting right over here, right? And then a little detail over here, and this side should come in a little bit more on this side. And just take a look at the iris. It's pretty light, a light blue color, and the color should not be too dark. When you look at my eye, my iris is much darker. That is how you separate the local color. And inside the middle over here, you can see the pupil, a little dark pupil right over here. And take a look at the upper eyelid over here. Should be a little bit higher, like that. Okay, see. This is how the local color, it actually helps to suggest, and there's a little bit rounded, a little bit shadow, like that. And that's just the beginning of the drawing. And I want to make the head over here even darker, like that. And I'll come back over here, the shirt needs to be darker, right? And then I'm going to use the nitty eraser over here and give a little suggestions over here. And okay, there's actually see a little light. Those are the detail part. It's very easy to create a little lighter shade, just a little suggestions over here, and showing that it actually is a little curve. That is the direction of that. And look at the corner of the mouth. That is a little bit lighter, because this is not about local color. Here is about how the form look like. And a little bit suggestions for the hair, like that, and maybe a little suggestions over here. And then the drawing can look better and better from here. Now I'm going to continue to develop the details from here. But you have to get the bigger relationship finished before you're going into this step. Now coming over here, that's pretty easy. That's the eyebrows over here. You want to notice that is rounded in this form. The shape over here is rounded around the eye. So and coming to on this side, and this side bump a little bit and turn around on this side is a little bit more rounded over here, look like a sphere shape. And I can add the detail over here, a little bit wrinkle. Let's draw not just draw the line, you need to draw the transition. Now I'm gonna come down over here by using nitty eraser to do a little correction over here, do a little contrast, make the nose over here, the top nose over here, a little bit lighter. The eraser drawing the light shape, while the charcoal is drawing the dark shape. They're both drawing materials. And the top over here, a little bit lighter. This is the light and shadow within the same local color. That is the face. That's good. I'm going to soften this transition. Like that, that's good. Now I come back here to reform the shape. Reform the edge over here and take a look at the shape on the shadow side. Look like this. You want to really define it to make it look clear enough. There's just one shape in the shadow side. And I'm going to lift up a little color over here, make it a little softer. That's good. A little transition. Now I come to the mouth. I take a look at the corner of the mouth over here. This a little bit smaller, this triangle. That's good. On this side of the mouth, now we're talking about the smaller shape. It's facing to the light side. So this area a little bit lighter. While the other side, it's a little bit darker. Okay, now I come to this side, the lip turning over and have a little bit darker on this side. So first the local color. After the local color established, the local color also can consider as their bigger relationship. And between one area, one material, and the other material, another totally different area. And now coming over here, and I'm going to add a couple, a little texture over here. Now take a look at the bottom over here. Has a little bit sharper line in the shadow side. Now come to on this side, it's a little more graduate, a little bit softer. And the type of edges, it actually is suggesting how the form turning over. Okay. Now I come to use the nitty eraser to have a little bit lighter. This is the lighter side. That's the outside, the skin color. Like that. And the corner of the mouth, and coming a little bit, stretch a little bit wider. Like that. That's good. Now take a look at, come back to take a look at the eye over here. It's a little bit curved. Now we're looking into the detail. And the corner over here, turn around like this. That's good. Now this is the iris. And the pupil in the middle. That. Now I'm going to use the eraser to correct the edge here. Like that. That's good. Now come back over here to add a little small suggestions of their eyelashes at the lower eyelid. Now I'm going to extend this a little bit, this shape a little bit wider. So when you're looking at the smaller areas in the local area, it is much easier to do. And now I'm going to clean up the outside over here, and I'm going to refine the edge of the face. Take a look in here, has a little bit darker small shape. Like that. That's good. I'm going to refine the iris. That's good. There's some catch to shadow on this side. That's good. Now take a look at this edge. Now I come to do a little correction by using the nitty eraser. I'm gonna correct that, the shape, the edge over here. That's very easy to do. Now I come to the other side. Look at this eye. And after you have the form around the eye correctly, now you come back over here to do the small correction. Small drawing is pretty easy. Like over here, it's pretty light. So I'm gonna have this a little bit lighter. You don't have to think about using eraser. It's about correcting mistakes. No, it's part of the drawing process. Okay. And up here, a little bit darker. Now, take a look at inside of the eye. There's a little triangle. And this, the light shape, is this stop right over here. Like that. There's some catch the shadow over the iris. Let's see. And now I'm going to look at the lower eyelid. Now this has some eyelashes, and over here just draw a little area here first before I give it a little bit more indication if I have to. And under here at the lower eyelid, I'm going to suggest a little curve like that. So I see a little light shape right under here. Like that. That looks good. Okay. Now coming to the nose, look at the nose area, and this is our catch the shadow. So from here, I can make the catch the shadow a little bit darker than, but it's not very, very dark, than the reflected area right on this side. So take a look. Underneath the nose is this whole area here is a little bit darker. After that, I can give a little bit more suggestions for the nostril. That's good. And on the outside over here, it looks pretty light. So what I want to do is use the nitty eraser to make this edge a little bit sharper, because that is between the catch the shadow and the light side on this side of the cheek. Now looking at on this side, look at this side of the cheek. And I'm gonna give a little suggestions at the edge over here, some small shape, look a little bit lighter. Like that. That's pretty good. Now underneath over here, a little bit darker. Like that. I'm going to make the light side of the neck over here a little bit lighter. That is the local color of the skin. Now finally, I'm going to add a little highlight on the nose by using the white charcoal. That's good enough. That's the lightest color right over here. Like this area, those details, you don't need the white charcoal. All you need is the eraser.